Hi, welcome back to the section of Linux. In this section, we will be looking at other commands of Linux like touch, find, pipin, grep, sed, awk, unique and sort. Let's start with command called touch. Touch in Linux is basically used to create a 0 byte file. Let's say, for example, if we wanted to create a sample.txt using touch command, I will type in touch space sample.txt. Okay, when I say ls-ltr sample.txt, you could observe here, oops, it's an already existing file. Let's create another file, sample.txt. When I type something here, you could see here it's a 0 byte file. So touch is a command basically used to create a 0 byte file. Okay, now let's go to another command called find. Find is a command which is used to find a file present in any directory. It's basically a search command. For example, we have created an file called sample.txt. Let's find where it is present. Find. If you wanted to find a file present in a current directory, you can give .-name. You can give something like this and redirecting. Okay, let's try this first thing. Find .-name sample.txt. It will search sample.txt file in the current directory. Okay, we got sample.txt in the current directory when we had used dot. Now let's use something called /. It will search your file.txt in the entire Linux starting from the root directory. But you could see here you have got a lot of errors because you don't have permission to search a file in these folders. So how to get rid of these errors? Simple. I'm just cancelling this command. I'll redirect the errors to dev null. So one more thing to discuss here is the numerical entry that gives the standard error is 2. The standard input is 1 in Unix. So I'm using something called 2, which is your standard error, and I'm redirecting that to dev null, which is a temp area. So when I type find command, I don't get my errors. Rather, I would get an output where the file sample.txt is present. So this is the basic usage of find command. This tutorial covers only the basic uses of find command. You can experiment or explore more on find command because there are many other features of find command. Okay. So I'm using something I'm just wanted to explain something about awk. Again we are going to discuss about the basic uses of awk here. Okay, I have something called ls-ltr command. When I type in, I have got many results, but I want only the file names that are present when I give ls-ltr command. So in order to get that, I have to type in ls-ltr. Okay, I can simply get the file names here, but I want it in a straight way. So in order to get in a single line, I definitely had to do something else rather than typing just ls. So what I'm doing is I'm just typing ls-ltr, piping the output of ls-ltr to something called awk. Awk-f. Okay, delimiter. I'll explain about this in detail. Print $9. So I got only the file names that are present in the current directory when I have given listing command. So what did I do here? I have done something called ls-ltr, piping the output as an input to awk command. So two things we got to remember here is, one is pipe command, which is here, and next thing is awk command. This is here. So what are this? So pipe is basically something which takes the output of one command as an input to another command. So I have ls-ltr. The output of this has to be given as an input to awk command, which gives me this thing. So what is this what is this awk command basically? See, I have used awk -f. -f is a field separator. Field separator is space, and then print me the field 9. Field 9 is nothing but my file name. If I had given something called field 5 or something, I would have got some other thing which is my size. This is my field 5, so I have got this thing. So if I wanted to get field 9, I'll have to give something called print $9. As simple as that. So this is the again basic uses of awk command, and we have also covered the uses of pipe-in command. Okay, so let's go to another command called grep. Yeah, in order to grep something, let's display the contents that are present in sample.txt. I have something called, okay, let me clear all the contents. In order to clear the contents in your console, you can use something called clear, which would clear all the contents that are present in your console. So I am catting something called cat sample.txt. Okay, I have something called hi, I am a Cloudera developer. So if I wanted to use something called grep, grep is basically to grep a word present in a file. Okay, so if I wanted to grep something called hi in all the files that are present in my home path, which is home training path, I'll simply give grep space hi space star. It will grep the word content in all the files that are present in my home directory. So these many files has hi in all the files that are in my home directory. Okay, so if I want something called smaller letter, something like small hi, I can give it. So it is present in many more files. So the difference you could find here is when I gave hi dot capital H and I got very less files which has capital H and I as my input. When I have given something like small h and I, then I have got many files basically. So the thing you got to remember here is when you are using something called -i, okay, you need not worry about whether it's a small I or it's a capital H or small h or a capital I or small I. Okay, when I give something called -i, it's an ignore case option. When I give that, it will list me all the files that are present with all possible combinations of hi. Okay, it would give me this also because it has a hi. Okay, so basically you can ask me when I am giving grep small hi, why am I getting this thing? Because it is having capital H and I, right? But you could see here even this is having small hi. That's why we are getting this particular line as my output. Star is something which gives me all the files that are present in my home directory. If you wanted to filter out only .txt files, you can give something like this thing. It would print only the .txt files. But what did we learn here? How to grep a file, grep a word in a set of files, and how to use ignore case option using using grep. My requirement is to have only the file names rather than getting the complete output. Okay, and my requirement is to use ignore case option. In that case, I would use an extra option called L. This L would give me the list of the file names that are having hi, which is either can be smaller case or uppercase or a combination of smaller and uppercase, whatever it might be. It should give me the results of all the file names that are having hi in that particular file. Okay, when I am pressing enter, I would get only the file names that are having hi in their files, hi as input to their files. So we have seen -i option and -l option that can be used in that can be used with grep. Okay, now I wanted to go a little further using grep. I don't want the file names that are having small hi as the content. I want all other files other than having hi as content in their file. So I will use something called -v, which would give me all the files which doesn't have hi in their content. So there would be many files that would have, I got lot of file names which doesn't have hi as an content, because you could see here even small capital H and I which are also coming because it doesn't have small hi. If I give something called ignore case, so even capital hi will not come now. Okay, it's basically to eliminate that particular pattern and give all other patterns that are found in all the files. Yeah, that's again basic uses of grep. Okay, so now let's quickly go to another important command called sed. Okay, again let me clear my console. I have something called sample.txt, cat sample.txt, which gives me this thing. I wanted to substitute Cloudera with Apache in my contents of a file. So in order to replace that, what I got to do is sed replace option Cloudera with Apache. Okay, and the file name, which is sample.txt. See here, it's done. My Cloudera got replaced with a name called Apache when I use something called sed option. Okay, but sed is something which is called a streamline editor. It only edits and displays, but not, it only displays but does not edit into the file. But because when I cat sample.txt, it's still Cloudera but not Apache. But when you display the contents, then only you can see something called something called Apache in place of Cloudera. That means it will not make modifications inside the file, but rather it would display the contents as modified. Okay, so I wanted to change the contents of file also. So in that case, I got to use an option of sed, which is nothing but -i option. Okay, so now let's go back and cat sample.txt. Sorry. Now my sample.txt Cloudera got replaced with Apache. So that's my result. That's what I want. It happens only when I use -i option. So let's see what is the syntax of sed. Sed, the basic syntax I'm explaining here. We have many more options of sed. So sed single quote replace, which can be signified by s. Okay, and a qualifier, which is any special symbol you can use here. I'm just using a /. Replace Cloudera with Apache, and I'm closing the single quotes and the file name. So this is how I use my sed. Yeah. So this is again a basic usage. In order to reflect the change in the file, I'm using something called -i option, which reflects the content inside my file. So till now we had discussed about touch command, find, pipe command, grep, sed, and awk. Let's discuss about something called unique command. Okay, so let's go back to something called okay, let me open some file, though I'll discuss about this VI commands later on. Just for the time being, I'm just using something called ABC, CDE, and EFG. Okay, GHI, EJK, something like that. I have entered into my file sample.txt. When I cat